Don't say that.
Hi, everybody. We brought the green room in here with us. Uh, Welcome to today's edition of Talking Art. It is sponsored by Today's Visions, which is Today's Visions Indie Echo Village, where we celebrate the indies and try to help promote them and train them in blogging. With me is my co-host, Tammy Cook. Hi, Tammy.
Hi, how are you?
I'm wonderful. That's a lie. It has been such a bad day.
Nah.
I'm right there with you.
And also with us is our special guest. You know, Darren, I forgot your name.
Who's our
Darren
special guest?
Robinson. How are
He
you?
is? I heard of that guy. He's really great. Where is he?
He's right on the screen, right in front of us.
Oh, hi. How are we doing this evening?
I'm doing great. How are you?
I'm good. I'm better than Ezra.
Ezra. Who's Ezra?
Oh, never mind. It's an old joke. It's an old rock band called Better Than Ezra.
Gotcha.
Yeah, I know. It goes over a lot of people's heads when I say it, so I'll stop saying it.
Hey, hold on a second.
Perfect. Crickets. Thank you.
Well, you
Now
know,
for sure. Now for sure, I'll never say it again.
Okay, no, wait a minute. Do the introduction again because my whole computer went off. Do it again.
the whole thing?
Yeah, I don't think anybody heard it.
Yeah, I'm sure they did. I'm not
Okay.
going to do it again.
All right.
I mean, it has been such a rough day today. If it's been a Monday, it should have been a Monday. And Debbie Ferrand agrees with me because she posted, oh my God, I can't wait. It's been the most messed up, stressful day, and this will end it on a good note.
You know what? It has been a stressful day. I'll agree with that. I think I know for me it has been. I was told I was being a little bit wonky or off at my day job today, probably because I was a little excited and a little nervous about tonight. So,
Nervous?
well, yeah, I mean, it's one thing to stand in front of a class of 50 people and teach them. It's another thing to be on a camera and not know if there's 50 million viewers out there watching me, like the Super Bowl. Not to mention, I'm worried about the camera adding 10 pounds and all that stuff.
You don't have to worry about that. It only adds to my face 10 pounds.
So you mentioned you have a day job. What do you do, Darren?
Oh, during the day I sit on my duff in front of a computer screen, and some people say that I surf the internet and play online. Other people say that I do technical review for trade inspections, interview home inspectors and trade inspectors across the country for a national home inspection company. Seriously, that's what I do. I don't play online all day.
That actually sounds kind of cool.
I don't think my boss is watching.
You notice I'm laughing.
And at night you teach and paint?
Yes, at night I teach, and I'm an artist superhero, cape and everything.
Oh, wait a minute. Where's your cape? I don't see it.
Oh, it's at the dry cleaners.
Oh, okay. I saw your mask earlier. That was really cool.
Yes. Mardi Gras.
Well, what's the painting behind you? Because I think Tammy said that was her favorite all-time painting.
The painting behind me, I don't know. The lighting's quite right in here. Maybe if I angle that away, bring the camera down a little bit. That is Sir Paul McCartney.
The detail.
I am a huge
Look at the detail on the eyes. Oh my gosh.
Isn't that amazing?
Can you bring that closer where we can see like an eye?
If he wants to.
I mean, isn't that just amazing?
Oh my gosh. Oh, look at those lips. Wow. I am in awe. Now, is this strictly acrylic, like with brush, or is a lot of it done with airbrush?
I do. I guess I should probably start calling myself a mixed media artist because I use a combination of both traditional paintbrushes and the airbrush. I work primarily with acrylic paints and acrylic inks. Usually the inks are for my airbrush because they flow a lot smoother. They're heavy pigmented, and they give me that rich color that I'm looking for in a lot of my work. Except for Paul, who looks a little pale, but this was part of a couple of paintings that I did where I was doing black and white celebrity portraits with a pop of color. If you've seen my Jerry Garcia portrait, it's all black and white, a lot of brush painting and airbrushing. And then I've got that rose-colored in his glasses that he always wore, those rose-colored glasses. And then in Paul, it's all black and white with the exception of just that baby powder blue in his shirt.
Mm-hmm.
I also have a Janis Joplin I'm doing that's going to be all black and white, except she's got her arm up and she's got all those bracelets she was famous for wearing. All of those bracelets will be in color. And I'm thinking of just a tinge of color in her glasses, but the rest of it will be all black and white as well.
That sounds phenomenal. I wanted to let our audience know, which is growing, yay. We do have Comment Tracker running, so if you have a question, do not hesitate to interrupt us, and I will pop it up on the screen. Like Tim Longwell says, well, whether you're ready for me or not, I am going to attend live. Yay, Tim. We're so happy to have you with us.
Welcome, Tim.
And Debbie Ferron
Put that back up there. Put that back up there. Where's Tim?
Okay, hang on. There he is.
Oh, my God. He looks like a movie star I've seen.
Really?
Wow.
I can't. He's like one of those character actors. I can't think of his name. I bet he's been told it before.
I'm sure. I have to ask him.
He's really a great guy. You'll have to hook up with him.
Cool.
And let's see, Diana Mary Sharpton says, looking good, Darren.
Welcome, Diana. Thank you. Sorry for not being able to explain how to get here earlier. My bad.
Oh, that was so much fun.
I'm not the most computer literate when it comes to this either.
So, Darren, I had kind of tickled you a little bit about possibly doing a demo. Did I encourage you enough?
You did, and I thought about that, and I thought, well, just like teaching, you're up in front of other people and you're painting, so I thought I might do a little demo for you guys tonight. I'm not going to do my traditional painting, though, like I do for my classes. I thought maybe I'd do a little bit of airbrushing and give you a little demonstration on how I apply my airbrushing to my paintings.
That sounds like fun.
Oops. I have to move Paul. Paulie?
Oh, wait a minute. Tim Longwell says he gets that he looks like Tom Selleck.
I do. I've been told that. Of course, I was younger and I had just a mustache and the same curly hair. And back then I wasn't in as good a shape, but, well, we won't go there. Okay, so we put Paul aside.
Okay. Does that mean you're ready to give us a demo?
Yeah, let me see what I can do here. Give me a little bit of light so I can see. I only brought one of my lights over. I have.
Do you have him on the big screen?
I do.
Can you see that? Typically, when I paint, I have two of these on each side and one up above. I like to have three lights going, one from the left, one from the right, and one from above, because any painter that knows that works with lighting right there at their work, shadows can make and play a big problem when you're trying to get things just right. So by having lights from both sides and the top, it eliminates any shadows as I'm trying to get that right color. But I'm going to work with what I got here. I set this up in front of my computer space, and hopefully you can see what I'm doing. Let me try to adjust my...
about, yeah, head level, we can see. You go too low, we won't be able to.
How's that? Like,
That
because
looks
I'm
good.
painting right here.
Yep, I think that's going to work perfect. What do you
Okay.
think, Tammy?
Yeah. I can't really see him. He's not on my big screen.
He should be. I've got him marked up. Oh, Debbie Ferrand wants to know, where do you get your inspirations from?
I get them from her.
Woohoo, Debbie.
I'm glad you said that, Tammy, because I just like,
No, seriously. For my fantasy artwork, I actually get my inspirations from. Oh goodness, well, to be honest, I go on the web a lot. I look at a lot of paintings that are out there. I go on FAA. I look at what's selling and stuff, and I go, oh, I could paint that. Oh, I could paint that. Oh, I could paint that. Yeah, not my style. I'm gonna paint what I want to paint. So my inspiration primarily just comes from for my own work, my fantasy work, the body work I'm coming out with. Obviously, celebrity portraits. It comes from a love of their music and just a good understanding of what they look like. But for my original, my fantasy work and everything, the new portfolio that's coming out later this year, it's all from all of those childhood memories of all my favorite artists, the Boris Vallejo, the Julie Bell, the Frank Frazetta, Caldwell, all of the TSR artists from Dungeons and Dragons. All of those guys are phenomenal. And some of mine is going to be takeoffs on that. There's some new artists in the game nowadays that I've been searching out and looking at, and surprised to see that so many of them now are working in all digital. There are getting to be fewer and fewer artists that do the traditional paint on canvas. There's still a few that will do paint on canvas to one degree, get good photos or scans of it, put it into the computer, then they go to their Photoshop, Lightroom, all their other programs, Corel Paint and everything, and then they make the magic happen. I'm old school. I have a Wacom tablet. I have Photoshop. I have Lightroom. I have all that stuff on my new computer here. But I've been so busy with my day job and doing commission work and wanting to actually paint old school that I haven't had time to go watch the videos and learn how to use that stuff yet. That's coming in 2016.
okay,
So,
we'll wait for it.
all right.
Tim Longwell says you get the eyes on a portrait right, and the rest follows along easily, right?
That, who said that?
Tim Longwell.
That, to me, has always been the truth. And when I first started doing portraits and got asked to do pictures of people's kids and their babies and their significant others, I was scared to death because I knew that doing a celebrity is one thing. You can find yourself a reference photo to work from. You know what that person looks like. You see them on TV or in concert or what have you. You know what they look like. You get John Smith that comes in and wants you to paint a picture of Jane Smith's and their 2-year-old son, and you look at this photo and it's the first time you've ever seen it. The first thing I go for is the eyes, because if you get this I call it the triangle. If you get the eyes and the nose down to the mouth and back up to the other eye, you get this upside down triangle right, and you nailed that portrait. You can make mistakes everywhere else, but those eyes are right, and that nose and position and mouth are right, you nailed that portrait. The eyes are the windows to the soul, and that is the most important part, and that's where I always focus on. Get the eyes right, and it'll take everybody's attention away from anything else that you think isn't quite perfect. They'll be mesmerized by the eyes.
So what are you going to paint?
What I'm going to do here is I'm going to put some. It's a yellow-orange ink. I'm going to start out with on the fish because what I want to do here is I'm doing a couple of koi. And I've got my rough sketch in, and once I get my rough sketch done on my canvas, I'll take it, I'll put a light coat of white paint over it, usually I'll airbrush that as well. And the reason I do that is anybody that's sketched on canvas first and then gone to paint, you know that if you touch that anywhere with your hand, that graphite's going to smear. So by putting a light coat of weight paint on it, it seals it from smearing, but still allows me to see my guidelines.
See, I've already learned something.
So I'm going to take, and I'm going to start out with this, I call it like an Indian yellow. It's almost like a yellow ochre, but actually no, it's not like, it's like a sun yellow. It's not yellow, it's not orange, it's in between.
Okay.
I tell you what the ink company calls it, but everybody writes so small now and in Chinese, I can't read it. So I'm going to get some of that in my color bottle, and when I airbrush, and I'm sure people that want to get into airbrushing want to know, there's a ton of different types of airbrushes and companies out there. When I started out with one of the big manufacturers with the big fat orange handle.
The one I used was an Awada.
Well, that's what I use now. No, this company, not Badger. They were Badger's Pache. I used to use a Pache. Started out with that. Quickly, I tried a Badger. They're too tiny. They're too hard to take apart and rebuild. Then Thayer and Chandler came out in Vegas, and I met the owner of the company at a seminar out of state once for an airbrushing seminar that I was teaching at, and tried out the airbrushes. We made a deal. I was able to buy them 12 at a time from him at cost, wholesale. So I would sell those to my students that were taking classes from me way back then. Then they went out of business. They actually sold out to Badger. I hate Badger. That's when I discovered Iwata. Iwata makes the best airbrush in the world.
Now. I love my Iwata.
I use the Eclipse a lot because I like the siphon feed, so I could put a color bottle on the bottom as opposed to a cup feed on top, because the cups are very small. And here's the important part. When you're airbrushing and you're moving the brush like this, and you've got an open cup sitting on top of your airbrush, guess where that paint's going? Everywhere but where you want it.
Well, mine had a cup on top, and it was small, so which was a pain. But it also had a lid on it. Huh?
You had the lid for it?
I had the lid for it, yeah. So I didn't have to move that paint one out. Yeah.
The other thing that I don't like about those is because I've got such big paws, the cup always seemed to be too close to the trigger for me to get my finger in there and operate it.
Gotcha.
I bump it into that cup. So I've always preferred this. But what I'm going to do is what I'll do typically on this painting. I've decided that my koi fish are going to be orange and red primarily. So I'm going to start with this yellow color, and all I'm going to do is start basing in my colors and defining. And what I do is I start to get a dark line in along the edges, and as I move into where the highlight's going to be, I back away from the canvas so that I get that nice variegated color where it goes from dark to light to fade to show that that object is actually three-dimensional. And I think that's what really helps with a lot of my paintings, and what helps them to look and pop so much off the canvas is that I'm able to create a lot of my 3D look with my airbrush. Once I've got this base color worked in on this, like this, and I don't know how clearly you can see this yellow.
They're showing up pretty good.
Okay, yeah, because so far I've got a lot of the fish already in yellow.
I hear the air compressor.
And again, I'm not worried about details at this point. I'm just color blocking to get an idea where my colors are going to go. So I'm going to have one orange and one red, which means I'm going to use this color on both.
I think we should all go take a class. Let's
I
go.
think so.
You can hear my compressor, yes?
I mean, I've already learned a lot just in a few minutes. Tim Longwell says, nice tip on the white glaze over the sketch. On the rare times I do any sketching on the canvas, I rough it in to get a feel and then wipe the graphite or charcoal off with a stiff brush before applying paint. Makes for extra work, so I avoid it. Masking the drawing lightly is a great idea, and I totally agree.
Yeah, not only that, but if my graphite's a little heavy in some areas, by hitting it with the airbrush, or even I've done it with a brush before, hitting it with the brush too in those areas tones all that graphite down. It no longer smears, and you still have a clear outline. You can go in, and when you're all done, you won't see any of your pencil lines.
That's awesome.
Is this the thing with airbrushing and painting? Because obviously I don't know anything about it.
Is this what?
I mean, is this common? I mean, I don't know. I don't paint. So, I mean, does a lot of people use this technique, or are you
Airbrushing?
yeah, with
Believe it or
painting?
not, in the fine art world, I'm finding that there aren't as many people using this technique as there are other techniques, whether it be wax resist, alcohol resist, collage work. I know a lot of great oil painters, a lot of fabulous acrylic painters that don't pick up the airbrush at all. I've had some people tell me they think it's cheating. To me, I look at it as another tool and another way that I can get exactly the look I'm looking for when I'm done. When I go back, I'll airbrush block in my colors. I will come back in and I will hand paint a bunch of details. I will come back again with the airbrush to do all my final highlighting and shading, and then maybe back with a few touch-ups with my brushes. When I'm done, these fish are going to look three-dimensional. They're going to look like you can reach up and grab them and pull them off the canvas, and that's all I'm interested in. That is the style I paint. I do a very sort of realistic style, but not hyper-realistic. I'm sure he won't mind my mentioning his name, but there's an artist, Drew Blair, that works with the airbrush. He's an illustrator. His work, to me, I'm like, he's a god to me. His work is hyper realistic. He does stuff, pictures of planes coming down over the lake and how the water pops up from the jet stream and everything that looks so real you swear it's a photograph, and it's all airbrushed.
Yeah, I've seen work like that. Joyce Dickens says, I'm in awe. He is making it look so easy. I agree, Joyce.
Joyce, it really is. All you got to do is have the will and the want to learn. I've taught people to airbrush from the age of, I think my youngest student ever was 8. My oldest student was in her late 70s. And every one of them had a blast. And I was able to teach every one of them at least the fundamentals of shading, so you could actually draw a circle on a canvas and make it look like a three-dimensional ball. It's the basics of it are really easy to learn if you want to learn. If you've got a knack, if you're artistically inclined, you can learn it. I swear you can learn it.
So while you go back to that, Joyce Dickens is most definitely artistically inclined because she's one of the members of Today's Visions galleries at galleries.todaysvisions.com. You're a member. Tammy's a member.
I join and follow all that stuff. I think you have a group here on Google Plus too, don't you?
Yeah, we do. We have a community.
Join that or not? I can't always go so far back in my stream because I have so many followers that sometimes my stream, I open it up in the morning, and you know where it tells you how many people are in your stream with the little numbers thing at the top right?
Yeah,
I get, I get an infinity symbol.
I've had that too. Yeah, it's scary.
I look at that and go, I'll never catch up. And then if we catch up and it's to 0, and 3 hours later after lunch, it's back up to almost 100.
Yeah. Let's see. Tim Longwell says, "Yep, get the tonal variations right, and the images come alive."
They do. They do. And it's all practice. It's like everything else. The more you do it, the more detailed you can get with it. I can literally now, I do all this color blocking and everything else. I come in and do the hand painting details, like I said. But I literally could go back and, like, for Paul McCartney, that painting,
Yeah.
everything except the bottom eyelashes were done with the airbrush. All his hair was done with the airbrush. All of the wrinkles in the skin, everything. You can get in that close and that detailed with the right airbrush. I hate to be a commercial for Iwata, but I'm hands down, I love
They are the
that
best.
airbrush.
They are hands down the best.
Yes. So I'll get a little more yellow in his tail. I don't have enough time to show you, obviously, how I'm going to finish this. But if you send me the link, I think you have a community on here, right?
I do. Yes, we have the
Okay.
Talking Art community.
Make sure that I'm in that community. Send me a link to that community, and I will post. What I will do is, I will post step-by-steps of this as I do it, and I will post the finished product in your community.
Oh, thank you.
That's awesome. Yeah.
And that will be the first and only place I do post it, because, like I said, this is part of my new body of work that I don't want to show to anybody until all of it's done. But I will show. I will show this one.
Well, we greatly, greatly appreciate it. Yay, that's going to be so exciting. Yeah, we are. Wow, this has gone by fast. This is going to be the fastest half an hour, Tammy.
It has. Really fast.
Well, I don't think there's anything good on TV tonight anyway, so as long as I got my Kool-Aid, I'll hang out here as long as you need.
Hey, I don't think there's ever anything good on TV, so unless it's football.
I truly appreciate you having me. I'm honored.
I cannot tell you how honored we are to have you. Tammy, you want to tell everybody what you were telling me about his work?
About how I think he's the bomb. I've known Darren, probably 2 years. He's probably one of the first people I met on G+.
The entire time I've been on Google+.
I know. He's been my partner in crime many of times, and I absolutely think his work is amazing. I look at it, and I'm just completely blown away by his talent. It just is amazing how he can do that, and I just so glad I got to know him and follow him and watch him grow, and I just think you're amazing.
And I cannot wait to see your new body of work. I'm excited.
Thanks, you guys.
Now that I met you in person, I just love you even more. You're exactly how I pictured you.
Okay, well then okay.
Here, you're building up.
My camera test. Look out, Hollywood.
Yeah. Don't forget us little people when you become famous.
Oh, yeah. I think that's a ways off yet. However, I do have plans in the works. Upcoming, like I said, later this year, a new body of work, brand new body of work. And all I'll say is that it's going to be fantasy driven. It won't all be skulls and dragons and naked women with swords. However, there will be some of that.
Awesome.
Because God knows I love that stuff too. But there will be a lot of bold, bright colors and a lot of fancy, whimsical type things, like these koi fish, the way I'm going to finish this with the water swirls coming out. I'm actually going to have water drops on the canvas that look like they're actual water drops sitting on the canvas. I also have some fantasy pieces coming that are going to be on multi-canvases, where it's going to be 3 to 5 canvases on the wall that make up the entire painting. So,
Oh, wow. That is going to
and
be
that's all I'll give away.
So Debbie Friend says, "Woohoo! Yay, Darren, you're the best," and I have to agree.
We clap.
So we're about out of time, Darren. I'm thrilled to have you on here. I'm honored that you're willing to post that picture step by step as you go through it, and I'm just speechless.
No problem. Like I said, I've always been in the mind frame that, and it's probably why I enjoy teaching, that the only way to really keep something is to give it away. I've been given a gift, and I swear I've been given it at birth. I've been drawing since I was 5, and the talent runs back in my family. And I've always enjoyed teaching over the years because it's a chance for me to give back or give away something that was given to me. And when I see the joy in the faces of others as they're able to create stuff that makes them smile, makes me smile even more.
Okay, this is a great question. So we're going to run over just a little bit tonight, guys. I'm curious what you think about spray paint paintings. I don't paint, as you all know, but I have seen many who do it, and they do it so quickly, and they're amazing.
Oh, good question. Spray paint artists, all of you out there, to be honest with you, you're doing something that I would not even attempt to do. You're pretty much an airbrush artist like I am, but you're using paint that is already in the cans. I've looked at the art form. I've seen the different nozzles that you can put on there to get different effects and everything else. And when I see some of these guys do some of this work and they do it so quickly, I am in awe. I am truly in awe. Now, that's not the guys that paint on the side of your train.
Although some of those, I mean, I watch trains.
Some of those are good
Just
too,
so I can
but
see the graffiti.
you know what I'm saying? The ones that just paint up a gang symbol.
Yeah.
I'm not into. I've seen some phenomenal street art where people use nothing but spray cans and they create these murals and these fabulous works of art. I'm truly in awe. That's a great art form. I have too full of a plate, so I'm not going to go in that direction and try and experiment with that. But there's a guy, I can't remember his first name, his last name is Webb. I think he was going to try and tune in here tonight. Shout out to you, brother. Your work is phenomenal. He's on Google+.
I want to say it's Steve Webb, but I'm not sure that's truth.
I don't know. He occasionally posts a picture of him and his wife. He's a young guy, and he does a lot of outer space type of work with planets and suns and stuff like that. His work is really, really top notch.
Yeah, I've seen his work. If it's the same guy, if we're talking about the same guy.
Yeah, he sets up and paints in his garage. It's just phenomenal.
So,
I think he's from, if I remember right, he's from the Colorado area.
Well, he's from our area, or from my area. So, Tammy, do you have any last-minute words?
Well, I'm just so thrilled to have met you, Darren, and got to share a little bit of you with all of us and G+, and I'm so glad that you agreed to come on and be with us tonight.
Awesome. Really, I like I said, I'm truly honored. I greatly appreciate this, and I'm going to get this link off of YouTube, and it will probably be included in my upcoming marketing stuff, obviously, because it's a plus for me as well.
Absolutely.
Thank you so much, you guys.
Thank you.
And thank you for the opportunity.
Thank you. You and I keep talking over each other. I'm so sorry. And if there are any artists out there who would like to be on the show, I'm going to invite you to join the Today's Visions community and give me a holler, because we're always looking for great artists of all types. You know, I'm interested in all forms of artwork, and as is Tammy, and as is the rest of the world. So
We love art.
that's
why
it.
we create it.
That's right.
So on that note, we ran a little bit over, guys. I'm so sorry. Not really. Darren, thank you again. You've made this a very fun show.
Thank you. Thank you.
So night, y'all.
Night.